There we go. So, hi, hello, everybody. Nice to see you at I think this is the fourth GGW Pitch Bootcamp. And who doesn't know yet about Go Global World? We are the platform where founders can meet relevant investors. So the coolest thing that we do is we connect startups and investors. And you practically don't have to waste any of your time. You can just join the platform and see relevant options without having to go through tons of names. One of the coolest things about our platform, in my opinion, is the one-pager format of every single startup page. So you can just fill out the information and tell quite a lot about your company, and you can even share the link with any investor without them having to register. So this is our way to save you a little bit of time. And this is how investors will see your startup, and as you can see, the first thing they see is your elevator pitch video. So that's why we say the platform pitches for you 24/7. Yeah, in my opinion, this is one of the best and quickest way to get connected with the best investors. Note, as you heard, I asked Daniil to start the recording, so please feel free to check our YouTube channel within the next couple of days. We should post the recording of this event. Please feel free to also share the link to that video on your social media. Please tag us. We'd be super happy to see that. Today I am super excited to introduce these two wonderful people who will be giving you pieces of advice and just sharing their wisdom. So today we have Brian Hsu with us, our startup advisor at Berkeley SkyDeck, former eBay and Lyft executive. Hi, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us today. And you're muted, so if you'd like to say a few words, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. Glad to see everyone this morning. Excited to hear about all the exciting businesses that you guys are building. Just a note about me. So I'm a former eBay and Lyft operating executive. And I'm also a veteran of a handful of startups. And so I know where you guys are coming from. And then as Victoria mentioned, I currently work as a startup advisor for Berkeley SkyDeck, which is one of the more prominent accelerators and incubators in the Bay Area. But happy to get to know you guys and looking forward to hearing what you've got for us today.
Thank you. And up next is Davide Dantonio, our program manager from gBETA, a generator and a startup advisor. I personally saw the list of achievements of his, and this is really awesome. Hi, Davide. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Victoria, so much, Daniel, for having me here, and honored to be next to Vaya to judge, to mentor and help these founders to craft better pitch decks. And yeah, it's I coach founders similar today. I connect with mentors, investors. So I love to see pitches because they are the best transition to next conversation. So I love to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Of course, Nick Slinsky, our CEO and founder of GGW, always here to also join us. And thank you so much, Daniil. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Good to see everyone. Thanks, Victoria, for running the show. And you know us, so no introduction needed. So Daniil Slinsky, the founder of Go Global World. But yeah, let's take the best opportunity of this time. Ask your question. Pitch to our judges and experts. You'll get the best feedback possible. Take the best opportunity of this time, and good luck to everyone.
Thank you so much. Time to introduce myself as well. My name is Victoria Kozareva. I'm a senior venture associate at GGW. So if you have any questions about GGW or need help of any sort, please feel free to contact me. Okay, now a little bit about the rules. let me invite the rest of the people who are in the waiting room.
I'll
Okay.
take care of this.
Okay, thank you. About the rules. So first of all, please make sure that you are muted as long as you're not the one presenting or you're not the expert. Then please right now make sure to raise your hand if you're willing to pitch. I do have a list of founders who would like to pitch, but in case we have one more spot available, I want you to raise your hand. Thank you. Then I want to see your full name and your company name. Please have your video on. Would love to have your faces, and please have your slides ready. Today we have quite a long list of founders willing to pitch, so no time to waste. Then this time I'm gonna ask you, please respect each other's time. Each founder will have 3 minutes for a pitch and then 5 minutes tops to receive feedback. GGW platform members will be pitching first, and then those who filled out their startup profiles and emailed me, who are in the list, will get to pitch next. If you do not get to pitch today, sometimes it happens, please feel free to contact us and we'll make sure that you have a spot next time. Yeah, please feel free to capture the moment, take a screenshot, make sure nobody blinks. Yeah, please tag us at Go Global World, especially LinkedIn. We'd be happy to stop by and like your post. Yeah, 2024 is almost over, and the very last event of this year will be our GGW Sharks. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to meet the real investors. We make sure to invite investors with different focuses, so please check it out. You still have 10 more days to register and pitch to these people. You know, a little bit about boring but very important. 2024 is again almost over and tax season is coming soon, and I just wanted to give you a quick reminder about our GGW services. We can help you guys to file your company's taxes, answer 1,000,001 question you have. And yeah, I will make sure to send a link to the group chat, and yeah, please feel free to contact us and we'd be happy to be your tax guy. Okay, this is all I wanted to share before we start. The first one today to pitch will be Viola Tavrovsky. Hi, it's really good to see you.
Hi, thank you so much. Appreciate everything you do for startups, and happy to see you again. Thank you very much. And it's an honor to pitch the first one today.
Awesome. Would you like to share your screen? Do you have any slides?
I have some slides. Yes, maybe I'll show something, but I would be happy just to start with like a small introduction, what exactly we are doing now.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Viola and I'm the founder of Parrot Art. It's a platform that provides business tools for creators and creative businesses to sell their services and products. It helps them earn as freelancers without requiring technical skills. We charge a 20% commission on every transaction. We help creators and creative businesses, as I mentioned before, to sell their services and products online, because creative businesses and creators are very creative and they don't have tech background to monetize what they're providing usually. And yeah. And also I have to add that creators are multidisciplined and there is no platform they can use like for everyday life because of, if we speak about an artist, it's okay with an artsy, but it also can be a curator, and there is no platform for curation consultations and motion design and so on. Some platforms are really focused and we just want to focus on the one market, but we give them opportunity to do what they really want to do. Doesn't matter if you want to showcase your portfolio, if you want to sell services, consultations, logistical services, staging, products, music, design, whatever you like, just add products into your store, set up prices, and start generating revenue. It works like a two-sided marketplace, but every user can share their brand link, profile link with their neighbors, friends, and sell it directly. Yeah, there are so many services possible to provide, and creative economy have a very good potential for the last years, as we can see, and we can find like our sourceable SOM like $400 million currently at the moment. And yeah, our business model allows us to achieve a unicorn status with approximate price for one service, like around approximately $500 for one. And it means that we need to generate 80K transaction per month to generate $100 million per annual revenue. We have currently already 5,000 users. And I think, okay, it's enough.
You can make a last statement if you'd like to.
I don't know. There are some competitive advantages, why it's now, but it's not important. I just can show my co-founder, Taya. I'm proud of her. She's a developer in our team.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Brian, would you like to start?
Sure. So thank you, Viola. I think that was very interesting. So I guess I would have a couple questions for you, or a couple pieces of feedback. So one of them is, I understand the problem that you're trying to solve, and it sounds like very interesting, and it sounds like you've got some kind of market to direct yourself to. But why hasn't this been done before? I think that would be interesting to get into. You're making a claim that says there is no place for creators where they can do this, and so this isn't a new problem. So my question is, why hasn't that been done before? You don't have to answer it here, but that would be one question you might want to address in your pitch. And then would also like to hear more about your story as well. And so with most pitches, there's always this question of why you? Why are you uniquely placed to solve this problem for creators? And so if you were able to, I know it's a very short time frame to be able to pitch here, but I think it's always good to give a sense of your founder's story and why this is important to you and why you are uniquely placed to be able to solve this problem for creators. So those would be my two biggest pieces of feedback.
Oh, very good question. Thank you. I'm happy to answer if it's possible or it's needed. No?
Yeah, I don't, Victoria, just correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have to answer the questions to us now, but it's just
you don't have to, but you can.
Okay, but yeah, I just can fix it. Like I have to mention my experience, why I'm doing this, and also why nobody done it before. Yeah, got it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great job.
Davide, you're muted. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. I just wanted to the call to action before unmuting myself. So great pitch. I love the second part about the KPIs and the numbers, how you got to create the market. I think it was very tangible. I saw you had some metrics later. I think the first feedback I would like to provide is you knew that you had 3 minutes, right? And today is an informal meeting where we are just trying to help you. On the December 20th, you're going to have 3 minutes or 5 minutes sharp. I don't know, Victoria, about the exact time, but I would say structure the timing in the best way possible. For example, I had some founders doing showcase 3 minutes. I have 12 sections that I recommend them to cover. I say, okay, 3 minutes divided by 12 sections, it's 20 seconds per slide. So they knew that, let's say out of the 12 sections, they had 20 seconds per slide to cover all of them. Because I'm sure that in the remaining part of the pitch, you had valuable content. And then because each founder is timed, you're not able to deliver it. So first of all, start with the slides. The slides should help you to talk, and probably you don't have time to do an intro to your pitch. So that's the first piece of feedback. Second piece of feedback, you talked about the problem at a micro level. So you talked about one ICP. I would love to really hear the problem at a macro level. So understand which are the key pain points of your ICP, but categorized. I don't know, 30% of creators, which is basically 500,000 potential users, are struggling with monetization. They say that all the softwares around are very bad, or they struggle with workflow automation. They are just one person creator and they need more tools for workflow automation. So I would love since the beginning to for me to visualize the pain. We call it twist the knife. That's the second part. The third part, I would love to, probably you're gonna pitch to investors. I think for them it's clear to understand your ask on December 20th. So what's your total fundraising ask? What is the breakdown of the use of funding, and how can you unlock more milestones with use of fund? And this comes back to the previous point. I had founders at just 3 minutes sharp because a colleague of mine would have kicked them out of stage in case they talked more. And so we need to make sure they delivered all the information that the investors could need in 3 minutes. So finish presentation from 0 to 1 in 3 minutes. Because it's a pity that we didn't hear the whole pitch, which I'm sure would have been great, because I could see some slides which were very KPI and data point oriented. So that's my main feedback.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Viola. Okay, and up next we have Toshi. Toshi, are you here? Trying to find you. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, found you. Hi, are you ready?
Yes,
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
thank you. Hi, everyone. There are two types of people in this world: those who play safe and those who are a little crazy. I'm definitely the latter. That's why I'm doing the entrepreneur. But I'm not just any kind of crazy. I believe in the power of creativity and the magic of advertising more than anyone. I'm Toshi, founder and CEO of Tetra Tokyo. Today, I introduce a multilingual brand message creation tool, TetraX AI. Today's digital connected world, global marketing became easier thanks to the digital and the social media platform. However, the words don't easily cross borders. So there are so many contents now, and also those are handled by the human still. Also, 75% of people prefer local messaging. So that's why we want to change the system of the localized content creation. That's why we combine the AI and the community and culturally resonant messaging efficiently. Here's how it works. We ask client to answer 33 questions. Our AI draft the copy, and our target community members edit and vote. This is patent pending process. So we can skip the effort for process of the copywriters, and also we can minimize the stakeholders. And right now we have the Japanese language versions ready, and we have very positive feedbacks. So we are different than Jasper and Copy.ai because we optimize each AI model for each local market. And also we have the gig worker involvement. So business model is simple. We charge client, we pay our gig workers, and the incentive model is very thought-free, considered, designed. The market size is bigger, I think, and also it's a growing market. And currently, we started this product talking to many of my friends in the brand side. And also we have POCing very positive feedback, and we learned a lot. We're still not scaling, but we will scale very soon. We have a team like this for diversity, and today I'm here to get some comment and also feedback. Also, the investment was $1 million. Thank you.
Thank you, Toshi.
I can go first, Victoria, if you like. So I love the timing of the pitch. I mean, you're right from beginning to end, and I say to founders like you click the like on the slide at the right time, so there was a flow in the whole pitch. So very well done. I love the spirit with which you introed yourself. Like you created a personal connection between you and your story. I would say, as Brian was saying like before, tell me why you are the right person. Because and probably, I mean, we can even take Brian's example. Like I really like admired that he not only said his current role like startup advisor at SkyDeck, but also said former like former like Lyft, and also like he told us why he was credible as a judge. And for example, in my case, I didn't put any tagline. I just said I'm a program manager generator. I didn't tell anything about my background. And so I would say, given one element of credibility, like why you're established in the community building space, in gig worker space, it's key. Like you can say, hey, I'm Toshi. I like the crazy side of things because I was I was a top executive in the creative design at Microsoft. Like something that connects like how your top-notch crazy part of you was validated in a corporate or in the startup world. So that's the first big I would like to say. And then I would say that I would have loved a bit of more, like, for example, you presented like solutions in two parts. I think the second part where you showed me the customer journey was much more impactful. So I would like I thought the two solution slides were kind of disconnected, and I loved much more the second one. Yeah, the product, how it works. Maybe I would, and that's something I suggest to founders. Tell me the product, how it works, and then next slide, tell me the ROI of your product for your consumers. And also with the revenue model, try to quantify it slightly more because I didn't see any pricing. I just saw the three kind of categories, but not the pricing. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Toshi. Good to meet you. Very good job today. Similar to Davide, I liked the flow of your presentation, and I think you have most of the main pieces in there. And I think you did a fairly good job getting through it in a short amount of time. That can probably be a little bit more tight from start to finish. Here's a couple pieces of feedback for you. So one is, I think it would be effective if you showed a little bit more description of the problem. So, one way to do this is to take an example. Company X, this is how they're currently dealing with this globalization of their marketing content. And then you can actually show your product and say, this is kind of a before and after when using Tetra. And so that'll be effective in showing, bringing this thing to life and showing, hey, this is what we do, and this is how we can change the experience for a company that's faced with this problem. So that's one piece. Similar to Davide, I think you could go further in getting into your business model and how you actually make money. So that wasn't altogether clear to me. I think that was glossed over a little bit. And then the one piece of feedback that I would also give you, and this goes to anyone who's dealing in the AI space, right? There's this tendency to say, oh, AI is the solution and AI is going to solve this problem and AI is the everything. It has to be a little bit more than that because everything is AI now, and just using the buzzword of AI and describing that is not good enough. And so you really have to get into what's different about your technology and what's really different about your implementation of AI into this business and why it's going to be effective. And so that really gets at what's the differentiator here, because everyone's going in the direction of implementing some kind of AI solve for what you're trying to solve. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, Tosha. Good job.
Thank you.
Awesome. Up next, okay, I really don't want to misspell or like mispronounce the name. Is it Adiaman? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but you're up next. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Hi. How are you?
Doing good. Good to see you. If you'd like to share your slides, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's loading. Yep, perfect. We can see it.
Okay. Hi, good morning to all, and thanks for giving this opportunity. My name is Adhyaman Arasappa, and I'm a co-founder and CEO of Arvum Solutions. We specialize in enterprise asset management software. Now, this enterprise asset management software is basically addressing the global need to provide a user-friendly and effective EAM solution. EAM solutions are there in the market, but then the utilization or the adoption is less than 10%, right? But this is the most important thing, which addresses safety, integrity, compliance, and productivity aspects of any enterprise. The problem statement is currently the EAM has got ineffective implementations. It is used as more as a software rather than a solution because there is some advisory element that is missing every single time, which results in this poor adoption. And many a time the software is done with so much of complexity that the learning curve is very steep. It is one of the downsides of the current complicated landscape the software industry is in, as far as this aspect is concerned. And as a result of which, 30% of maintenance cost is wasted, which can be prevented. So our motto is more wrench time and less punch time. So we wanted to give the users a very user-friendly and a simple system that can be easily adopted. And ours is risk-centric, how to reduce risk. We have plenty of other things, like we are on SaaS mode, we have an on-prem equivalent as well. And our price points are quite attractive. So why now? Is that now the world is more towards risk management. So corporates don't want any risk to happen to their enterprise. And digital transformation is happening in a big way. Industry 4.0 and the green initiatives and so on and so forth. So enterprise management basically complements all these efforts. So our market size is somewhere around 15 billion US dollars, and our serviceable obtainable market is around $500 million, which is what we are chasing. And our key focus geographies are North America, APAC. And our sweet spot is small and medium enterprises because large ones have already gone on to ERP or Maximo and other products. And our revenue model is basically like on-prem. We are promoting SaaS because that's the way forward, but we are not averse to organizations that are on on-prem mode because of some data security and data sovereignty requirements. This is our projected growth. We want to enhance our user base significantly. It won't be a step; it's going to be quite steep. That's our aspiration. And we have our product is already ready, up and running, and we have got paying customer. We are trying to get funding and venture support for proliferating across the globe. So from a competition landscape, these are the key competitions for us. IBM Maximo leads the pack, SAP, Oracle, and Hexagon. And approximately 40 to 50% of them are the market share is with them. And remaining 50% or around $7 billion is being wide with around half a dozen leading products, including ours. So our go-to-market strategies, we have got sales advisors, we've got strategic sales partners.
We're running out of time, so let's wrap it up and please make your last statement.
Yeah, last bit. This is the team, and we got around 25 years of experience, each one of us, and we are seeking a $1 million funding for sales and sustenance purposes. So that's the pitch. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, Brian, would you like to start?
Yeah, we can alternate and I'll jump in here. So great to meet you and thanks for doing the pitch. So my overall feedback on this one is it was actually really hard for me to understand what is the problem that you're trying to solve. Your description of kind of the mission statement and the problem was generic to me. to be honest. Okay. Enterprise asset management, to someone who's not familiar with the market, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what it is that your solution's trying to do. And so that needs to be a little bit clearer. I would avoid sort of generic descriptions of the problem, like it's inefficient or it needs to be more simple. Like specifically, what is the problem that you're trying to solve and for whom, is what I would try and do. I know this is the type of thing where in your head it's very clear, but for an outsider and someone who's just coming in contact with your company, you need to set context and you need to be able to put them in the mindset of like, oh, I understand what this company is trying to do. So that wasn't altogether clear to me. As far as kind of like stylistic presentation and slides, I would think about making your slides have, for lack of a better word, a little bit more pizzazz. And so the way I like to think about it is, people consume information in different ways. It's not the best way to communicate something isn't always through text or bullet points. Sometimes it helps to have data. It helps to have graphics. It helps to have some charts. And so I would think about putting a lot of your slides in that form where it's more easily digestible to a variety of different people. And so, when you talk about, the why now, show me some data on trends that are going on in the market. Give me a little bit more proof rather than a few data points that you're conveying. Charts, graphics, data, all of that kind of stuff. But the big thing here for me is I wasn't super clear on what the problem is that you're trying to solve and why it's important.
Oh, thanks. I take that feedback. Yeah. So the thing is, it basically addresses the integrity of assets, operating assets in facilities. Like some explosion happening and equipment failed, as a result of which there's a downtime of the machine, so your production gets stopped, or some operation gets interrupted, which results in revenue loss, or a worst case scenario, even disaster situation. So this is the enterprise asset management solves for these kind of problems.
So great. Give that example. Give us a hard example of that going on. Tell us how much money they lost. Tell us what the consequence of that is, and then tell us how you're going to solve that problem.
Okay. Davide, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I love Brian's perspective, and I think the key focus is like on first of all on the ROI of your solution, like what the customer gets out of like of their like investment in the solution, and what's the return in terms of like either the saving of the cost or the increased revenue. Just a 30-second parenthesis. My upcoming program is recruiting 5 founders in Industry 4.0. So I think you could be a great potential fit. It's a free program, no fee, no equity. There is no economic, there is nothing, no investment. There is no transaction. It's just a free program we offer to early stage founders. And so first feedback it's out of the presentation, and I'll go on the presentation. I couldn't find you on LinkedIn. So that's a pity. I share with you some links in the chat, but first thing is like, potentially this is an opportunity to create connection. So it would be great if your name that you have in the Zoom call is same you have on LinkedIn. Second thing, I would love, so I send you the links about me and the program in the chat if you're interested. Second thing, I would say you should a lot stress the demand side of things. For example, you had a graph where very, very little, there was a 105 on the 2024. I want to know what you've done so far. I don't care if you're going to do 1 billion in 2025. There is no certainty. What I've certain about is what you've done so far. So in case you generated even a little bit of revenue, which I think you had because your graph was showing them very, very little on 2024, that's where you should present. I don't care, like, can I say just last thing, 10 seconds, Victoria?
Absolutely,
like, if it's a complex solution, I try to become like a humble evaluator. I say, okay, maybe I don't understand. Maybe I don't have full clarity. Maybe it's too technical for me. But if I see that customers are giving to this guy even like $10, $100, maybe this guy is on something. So the solution is great. The supply is great. The demand is interested in your product. What about the demand? What about the customers? Are they willing to pay for this? are they interested? That's all I care about.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. I take that all the feedback. Thanks for the positive feedback. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks in the chat, please.
Thank you. Okay. Up next is Igor Shapiro. Let me find you, and please have your slides ready if you'd like to share any.
Yes, hello everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can hear you. Just okay, found you. Was trying to find you in the list. Okay, and please go ahead if you're ready.
Wonderful. Thank you. So hi all. We are startup Davide working in the data analytics domain, specializing in forecasting and optimization. And I think everybody knows that data is the gold of the 21st century, and it gets even more valuable if you can make a product out of it. Or in our case, analyze the data and make a good forecast. But forecasting actually sucks because it's quite a difficult thing to do. And if something is difficult, you use, of course, AI. And this gives us an opportunity window because 70% of all AI projects fail in forecasting due to the lack of interpretability, leaving the companies with around about $100 billion annually losses. And to narrow it down to 3 specific pain points we identified in this analysis is first, that AI gives you black box results, so you don't know what happens inside your data. Second, AI flattens your world of your data. It makes it a 2D perspective. And the third thing is that it's time and energy consuming thing because you have to train and to tune your models, which accounts for 50% of your whole time for data analytics. To narrow it down to a specific use case, we have a customer who is selling 55 different beverages, and his use case was to maximize his revenue. And what does he do without us? He uses different AI approaches like neural nets, trees, or even time GPT. He's analyzing each product separately, like sequentially, and as a result, he still gets a black box with no understanding why and how his features affecting his revenue. And here comes Davide in the game. We first analyze all products together as a system. With this analysis, we can save him up to 60% of his whole data analytics time and give him this full transparency and full interpretability to his black box AI world, which resulted also in around about 15% more revenue for this client. How do we do it exactly? By leveraging a data structure that is already present everywhere, but it's quite hard to analyze it. This picture is viewing our 3D approach of the data analytics world. We compared our solution to different approaches, and we saw that we can calculate nearly at the speed of light compared to other AI solutions in forecasting. Market size, especially in the food domain, is quite big, around about $2.5 billion in the US food industry. So it's quite a good market. Of course, you would say, what about your competitors? We have competitors, yes, but they all actually lack this kind of more data explained with our solution and the high computational speed, which is also setting us apart. And this full transparency and full interpretability too. How does it look like? It's just 3 simple steps. You upload your data, a CSV or Excel, click run on our tool, and give not only a number result, but also a textual interpretation about what is inside happening in your data, in your forecast. For now, we are offering it as a consultancy service with the help of our tool. And also right now we are building an API integration to make it a more practical and tangible way. Shortly to ourselves, and I will finish. Me, myself, I'm a computer scientist from TU Munich, and my co-founder, he's a PhD in economics, and our solution is partially based on his PhD thesis. So my question is, who suffers from black boxes, uncertainties, and no interpretability? Davide can help. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, dear experts, who would like to start?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Igor. Great presentation. I love that you arrived to the ask slide. I think it was one of the few asks. So great. Probably when you're talking to the investors on December 20th, I would make like, unless it's solicitation, probably I don't know in this case, but I would say you can, if they're all accredited investors, you can do like a total ask with the funding you need, and then the breakdown of like the milestones you can achieve through these fundings. So that's a key point. Then it's funny because you are saying who suffers from black boxes, uncertainties, and interpretability. I would have loved, and as I said before, I would have loved to know from your presentation who suffers from black boxes, uncertainties, and interpretability. Are these guys willing to pay? Are these guys like already committed with some revenue that are giving to you? Are these guys like kind of tell me how much have you conquered about your demand and your market? Because in the presentation, have you showed us a traction slide?
I showed only that we have a couple of POC clients with whom we are iterating right now, and we are in the process of charging them also for our service. So the need is there.
Can you show me the slide again, please?
Yes. Sorry, yeah, I have it right here. First POC customers, it's here, and why people want to use our tool. It's like that.
Okay, I would love to a dollar amount, because in case it's available, even if it's $100, but at least some people are willing to put more on the table to use your solution. So that's something absolutely important. And can you go on? There was a slide with the timeline. Can you show it again, please?
Yes. Yeah, the business model timeline.
Okay. I would use this. I think it's a very cool slide where you break down different revenue models. Would I suggest to founders like leverage this slide to then build on top of it the market size? So do a approach to market size where you use one revenue model, you multiply for your like beachhead market, and you get your first market size. And the same for the second revenue model, you multiply for the second pool of customers, and then like you get the second market size. So the follow-on market, basically. I think that's mainly it. I love the problem slide 1, 2, 3. I would have loved you keep mirroring this slide for the solution slide, because I love to all the solution fit. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hi Igor. Thanks for presenting today. So I have 2 words for you: slow down. There was a lot of information there, and you ran through it very quickly and started going through slides very quickly. If you know how much time you have to be very careful on how you select what you're going to show and how you're going to speak to them. And so the last thing you want to do is to come across as just glossing over things and checking the box on hitting all of your marks as you go through it. And so, slow down and hit the points harder rather than faster is my advice to you. So that's stylistically what I would say. I liked that you actually, gave a good example of the problem and then the solution. I think that's something that everyone should, take note of as a good thing to do. One of the questions that I had in my head as I was listening to your presentation is, you're making a lot of big claims here that you're going to solve problems that pretty much everyone has, right? This black box, uncertainty, interpretability problem when it comes to data. That's kind of a universal problem that people have when they're dealing with their data. And so I think you have to get a little bit more specific on, what is it that you're trying to solve, and also who your customer is, because as I said, like everyone kind of has this problem. And so who are you going to target? How are you going to get after them? Is there, certain verticals or types of industries that are particularly good for your solution? And how are you going to go after them? Otherwise, it sounds like a very generic problem that you're solving, and not clear, is your solution going to be able to solve it for everyone? Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. That's why I also started with this, explained to the slide. Food and industry is just the first POC client with whom we are starting it. But as you said before, yes, in a way, it's a generic approach, because every forecasting problem starts with a data structure called time series everywhere. And it doesn't matter in which domain you are starting there at this point. And we are also starting there, also at this point. So for us, yes, we are focusing on food and beverages because the entry level is not so high due to many circumstances. But yes, our approach is completely generic to any kind of forecasting problematics, because like I said, we're tackling the core here.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you so much, Igor. Great presentation. Thank you. Okay. And up next is Eric. Hi, Eric. You ready?
Yeah, I'll just try and get my document up here. It says that somebody else is still sharing. So, there we go.
Okay. We're good now.
Just a moment, please. Screen. Well, my screen just got jumbled, so please let me know if you can see my deck.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, ready whenever you are. Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right. I, like many people around the world, am curious about what is needed and expected of me to become a more conscious and generative citizen. Almost 6 years ago, I spent well over 6 months exploring how to transform not only my life as a human being, but my family's life and my home into a resilient, self-sufficient, and generative contributor to our community and to the planet. To say that the process was confusing, complex, and fragmented would be an understatement. It was downright exhausting and had me coming back over and over again to the start to redetermine what I was trying to do. There certainly had to be a better way. Excuse me. At eShow, we've developed a suite of generative and scalable modular homes, home energy, air, water, and food systems, and an associated e-commerce platform to help a diverse range of homeowners, tenants, builders, and developers more easily, readily, and affordably access beyond sustainable lifestyles wherever they are on their journey. At eShow, we have 3 business lines, 2 represented here because the other one just launched and I haven't put it on the deck yet. Revive handles retrofit and infill of existing infrastructures like homes and caters to developers, architects, and builders. And Habitat is our housing line. We also have Market, which is an e-commerce marketplace launching the week before Christmas, so very soon. At Revive, we use the cumulative suite of products created at eShow in energy, air, water, and food to allow greater accessibility and attainability for homeowners, developers, and builders to start their journey of resiliency, self-sufficiency, and a generative lifestyle wherever they are at along that journey. We certainly have competitors, and this is my 10-minute deck, so I'm just going to skip over some of the stuff. At Habitat, we've created a series of homes called Namu, first of 3 to launch by the end of 2026, starting manufacturing in January 2025. So in the next 4 weeks, to actually start manufacturing and delivering our homes. Revive has currently created $600,000 of revenue in year 1. We're looking to triple that in Q1 of 2025. We're currently operating in 4 states: Colorado, California, Oregon, and Florida. And we have just under $200 million of pipeline for our houses, mostly to B2B clients, though I understand what pipeline means. We expect to materialize approximately 2.5% to 4% of those orders in the first year of 2025. We're currently raising there we go. We're currently raising $1.3 million in a pre-seed round, having previously closed a friends and family round of $145,000, and have a fairly generic 12-month runway. My name is Eric Amiot. I'm the CEO and founder of eShow, and I'm excited to answer any questions you have and to absorb your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay, why don't I jump in? Hi, Eric. Nice to meet you. This is a very expansive mission. There's a lot in there, and it sounds very noble, and it sounds very much needed in our world. But that's a lot to go after as an early stage startup. When you started describing what you're going after, my immediate thought was, wow, are you like a Series D startup that needs $1 billion worth of funding? And so I think you're gonna need to. What you've described here is very much a vision of where you want to be, and I think that needs to be clear that that's where you're going eventually. But you need to start a little bit smaller, and you need to start with a foothold in something first. And so I would find a way to kind of tell the story in that way, right? Yes, paint that great vision, but also get very specific about how do you start on that journey and what are the things that you're going to do. That slide that had the sort of timeline of how you're going to phase things out, I think is a very important thing to speak to and not just gloss over. So, I would say spend less time on setting the vision of where you want to go with eShow, and then more time on, okay, this is how I'm going to get started, and these are the kernels that I'm going to build first in order to go along that path. And so very interesting what I heard there, but I think it's a little bit of a shock to the system of like, wait, there's 3 huge huge markets that you're going after here. And how are we going to do that? It's kind of freaking me out. Does that make sense?
It does. Yep. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, Eric, to be honest, like some of your slides were like the best ones. I love the total ask slide where you break down like what you need from each from the founding round. Can you pull it again? Can you share it on your screen, because some slides were very cool.
Yeah, well, I pull it up too. I will state that we are post-revenue and have pre-orders and deposits across all of our channels. I know it sounds like a vision, but we're doing well so far, though we're only 12 months into it. The ask slide, sorry, David?
Yeah.
There we go.
I think these two slides, this one, it's very cool. Like, I think it's very like investors friendly. Like, they understand exactly how their capital is going to be invested. And also the next slide about like the revenue, kind of not just the revenue projections. I think there's also like the revenue so far, which is kind of great. Of course, I mean, now you're operating at loss from what I can see here. So I mean, as Eric, where is your main spending is on like how would you break down this the spend? Can you let me see, because I can't okay, sorry.
Yeah, I can speak to it and summarize it very quickly. So 90% of it, 80% of it is building our MVP. As I said, we're launching manufacturing in 4 weeks of our homes. So we've been spending all of our money getting that geared up. And the rest of it is back office, wages, engineering costs, web dev, stuff like that.
Okay, because probably as Brian was saying, like, because you are targeting like 3 different markets, and probably they need some like in some capacity, some like tailoring of the solution to this kind of different markets. I would start to, like, as you are doing, probably run the experiment on these 3 markets and see which one is picking first, which one is like the lower hanging fruit that is enable you like to provide like some cash flow to finance business. And then I would like post the other 2 markets like for a later point. Like, I know that like probably with all these tech tools, like, you can attack multiple like market, and that's why it's important to have like clear beachhead, follow on, and TAM, so you can like resourcefully approach these 3 steps. And I mean, at the first stage, if you have the economical capacity, you can like try to run experiments in the 3 of them. But then I would say once you understood more or less like the CAC, so the customer acquisition cost for each of these markets, and lifetime value of this customer, then you can focus on like the segment that is right now is your cash cow to finance your business. Because also, if you try, of course, as you may know, like to fundraise also money externally, then you start to lose control on your business, so it may be a risky game. Also, the slides are very well done. I made sure that the background is pretty rich. I would really try to find a way to stress it even more. Like, I know the team slide was very rich, and it's a page you showed it just at the end, because having so many people on board, it really shows that like you have leadership capacity of like attracting a valuable, talented team. So I would give more time also to the team slide.
Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback, both of you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Eric. Okay, and up next is Leslie.
Hello there. My name is Leslie Sheridan, and I am the founder of Planet Sense. And we are going to be the world's largest sustainable products and services marketplace. We have a technology that is a SaaS technology that is patented, and it can be used on our site to illustrate the sustainability of products, as well as licensed to both companies as well as sustainable marketplaces wishing to show what they do. I'm a 2-time startup founder and turnaround expert, including turning around a 1,000-person startup at IBM. And our problem, we are looking to solve climate change, and climate change is being demanded, and action on it is being demanded of companies, and they are losing customers, partners, suppliers, investors, and shareholders due to not taking action. Sellers don't have one place, sustainable sellers, where they can sell, and consumers don't have one place where they can find all things sustainable. Planet Sense Solution is our B2B2C marketplace for consumers as well as sustainable sellers. One of the key things about it is companies can use our marketplace as a incentive, recognition, reward, and recognition and benefit all over the board. So they can get the people off their back who they're losing customers, partners, suppliers. 50.1% of all CPG growth from 2013 to 2020 was in sustainable goods. Millennials and Gen Zs are demanding this, and it must happen. So,
about the stage.
Somebody.
No, maybe me. Wow.
So,
it sounds like. It sounds like someone has their microphone on.
We turned it off.
Okay, great. So basically, like I said, companies can use this as a sign-on bonus, a yearly benefit bonus, employee recognition, customer loyalty tool, employee incentive, and a gift or incentive. My background is 30 plus years in marketing and sales. Like I said, I turned around 1,000-person market or at 1,000-person startup at IBM, brought in 14 million my second year. My partner is Nishant, and he is the tech co-founder. We're also looking for a e-commerce co-founder, and he's got lots of expertise in API and technology. All of those things I do not. Our projections, TAM is 1 trillion, SAM 150, and SOM is 4.5 billion. And our key financials are here. We're happy to provide detail on this. We're asking, this is our revenue model, subscription, licensing fees, royalties, etc. Go-to-market plan is channel partners, sellers, and influencers. Initially, we're starting with our algorithm, which is almost ready for purchase and use. We have 4 sustainable marketplaces that are going to be in our marketplace that are ready to sell it. Unsustainable marketplaces and sustainable marketplaces are both competitors. And our ask is 1 million. Our prototype build is in process on our website, on our marketplace, and we have patented technology that is almost done. We have some sellers that are secured, and we are available to start.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Some feedback.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you so much. I think was a very fun deck. So, and also very mission driven. So thank you for putting it together. Couple of things. When you mentioned that you had 2 startups, I would love to hear what was the outcome of the startups? Did they get an exit? Did they get an M&A? Did they get IPO? Because at the end, it's I'm when I put my hat of investor, I would love to see how was your journey in your first startups, and also the sector that you had your startup with, because of course, if it wasn't sustainability, then it creates also some industry expertise in your favor. But then if it was, let's say, in in an unrelated sector, then of course it is less appealing than if you were doing something in sustainability industry where you're also doing your startup now. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I love to see the vision in the pitch decks. So what is gonna happen in the future, but also love to see what was done so far. So tractions. So even the product demo, so to understand at what stage is your supply, at what stage is the demand, you conquer the demand, given your overall vision, which was pretty clear today. So I'm missing, I don't know if it is what I say to founders when I coach them is, I don't know if it's a dream you had yesterday night and you put together this pitch, if it's something you work on for 5 years and you accomplish these tractions in terms of supply and demand. So I'm missing a bit what I would define as the stage of the startup, both in supply and demand, and probably I love there was a slide dedicated to KPIs. I would love it slightly more show it, so the screenshots of the demo or some actual numbers in terms of the even the market size. I would love to see how you arrive to this billion beachhead market, because usually founders target a niche market of like couple of millions, and then they start with some and like the follow-on and the total market are usually bigger, but usually the starting market it's pretty like small and very like it's deeper and wider. So I would have loved to see the calculations there.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, great. I agree with everything that Davide mentioned there. I thought you had a good intro into this. It really caught my attention. I thought you had great pace as you went through it. I thought you had a good why and a good problem definition that you're trying to solve. A couple things I would bring up with you is I would love to see the platform. I would love to see how does it work and actually see it, because you got a little bit of traction here. And it would be nice to see it in sort of live so that, we know that it's actually out there. And then the other thing I would say is I have a fair bit of experience in building marketplace businesses. And so one of the questions that you should preemptively attack is, how are you going to build the supply side of the marketplace? How are you going to build the demand side of the marketplace? And why is this going to be compelling for both sides of the marketplace? I think that's going to be key as every marketplace is going to have this cold start problem of like, how do I balance supply and demand? How do I start from zero and actually get this thing going? So you should preemptively go after that and kind of prove out the case of, your acquisition model for both sides.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a great presentation. Okay, and the next participant today is Daniel from Visa Now AI. Hi, Daniel. You're muted, so please unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes. And it was Leslie's then. Sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Go ahead if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm Daniel Tankapi. I'm CEO and founder of Visa Now. It's immigration paperwork with AI. 30 million visa and green card applications were filed in the United States 1 year only, last year. So it's huge. It's really huge. Immigration is a huge problem. It's a wide problem because it took for me more than 2 years to get green card. And it was a painful process. It was like errors, delays. I changed to attorneys. I spent $30,000. I almost got divorced while getting this green card. And then I thought, wait a minute, immigration paperwork shouldn't be so painful. And I decided to make a platform using AI, which prepares all the papers and all the documentation for visas and residence in the United States, and not only in the US. This platform works. We make how it works. How does it work? We make eligibility assessment. We collect all the data, passports, and all other papers, and then prepare the drafts of the documents, visa petitions, letters, etc. And then the petitioner can bring these documents either to the licensed attorneys on our platform or to their own attorneys. I'm an entrepreneur with 2 exits, so I know how to sell companies. I have a partner who is an expert in AI. He had 2 companies previously. He was building AI products. And we have an immigration attorney with over 5,000 successful cases who helps us to build this product. Using AI, petitioners can save money. Like it won't be $25,000. They can save 10 grand. And we charge to B2C, to petitioners, 3,000 or whatever amount for visa application. The market is $8.7 billion, and most of our competitors are traditional immigration law firms. So we are attacking them, and we are 20 times faster than them, and 10 grand cheaper, and no errors, no frustration, no delays. And there are a lot of visas, a lot of market segments like tourist visas, student visas, employment visas, etc. We started this project 3 months ago in September, and already we have 2 paying customers. Like the second customer is paying literally today. Please don't tell them we don't have a final product yet. though. And we are not only about visas. We want to make onboarding platform for the United States, with help with schools, with credit scores, with everything that people don't know when they come to the US. In this business, all customers can find immigration attorneys with recommendations, so we'll focus on it. My last statement is that this is a high margin business with low CAC and high LTV. And we are looking for 500,000 in pre-seed money. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much. Okay, who'd like to start?
I will jump in here. Daniel, nice presentation.
Thank you.
I think this was really good. I thought you had a good problem definition. I thought you did well on how does it work. The team was very compelling as well, and your own experience was very compelling. I guess one of the slides that you glossed over very quickly was the market size. And so that, while it sounds like, I think it's the next page.
Oh,
yeah,
there are two slides.
Yeah. So, I think you started out by saying like, hey, there's 30 million applications every year, which sounds like a big number, but I think you can expand upon it a little bit more and spend maybe a little bit more time on this slide, or maybe a simplified version of this slide that would get at how big this market is, because that was the big question in my head of, where can you go with this? And is there another implementation that you can do that doesn't have to do with U.S. visas and, with different countries, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess that gets into what's the vision for the company long term, right? It's clear that there's an opportunity in front of you based on this slide, but what's beyond that as well? But otherwise, I thought this was a really good presentation and very compelling.
Thank you very much for your feedback. I wrote everything down, and I will polish my pitch for the next event. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I think it was a great presentation. I really love the storytelling, like personal story, why you, and then like the problem solution fit, the clear breakdown of all the visas here in this slide, and then I also loved your final slide. Where you can keep it on screen. There is the investment opportunity, investment highlights, and your detailed contact. So very well done. This one, it's for me, it's kind of like it's challenging to give a feedback, because I'm these days very into the migration space, because I'm also trying to file my decide what's the strategy for the next steps. So we potentially
can we contact?
Yeah, we can chat. Yeah. I'll book a meeting through your QR code. It's like I've got in touch with other like startups in the space. I would probably first thing, I would love to see better the competition, because I've got in touch with lots of startups in this space like that are automating the workflow through AI. Less frustration. The key thing is, I know that when you have a football team, like you of course, it's important that there are like rock star players, and so I know that the key difference in this visa process, at least me as an immigrant, is the attorney that makes a difference. So. For example, it happened at a talk with a AI tech startup. I said, okay, what is your attorney firm? And he told me, I cannot disclose it. And I said, okay, like I know that you are not writing up the documents that are key, like to be sent to the government. It's an attorney who's gonna do it. So I would say attorney theirs are I don't want to say your competitive advantage, because of course the attorney can also go on other platforms, but for sure, they can position your solution as like a top-notch solution, like with top-notch attorneys, or if it's just a tech tool that, of course, has some limitations, because the immigration work is done mainly by attorneys. So it's like that's something that I want to stress, because my main concern when I talk with the AI platform is like, okay, who is the attorney who I'm gonna work with? So that's the first thing. I love your stress on the LTV, on the CAC. I don't know if you should present it in the main deck or in a next meeting, but for sure it's
Mhm.
to understand, like, you as a founder, keep in mind these like financial aspects. I had something else I want to say. As I said to the other founder before, I can feel that you have experience in the startup. I didn't really understand in which verticals, which is your industry expertise, what happened with your past startups. Have you got an exit? Have you got an M&A? Because this is like building a lot of credibility. Like, if you got, it's not just important to be a founder, but a founder with which track record. Like, so I was an employee, but which kind of employee was I? Like, that's so kind of putting some like milestones achieved with your past startups and also the industry vertical.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Thank you very much for your feedback. Yeah,
Thank you.
I wrote everything down. Yeah, and I will be glad to chat with you after the pitch.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Good job.
Thank you.
Up next is Farzan. Let me find you. Are you ready?
I'm going to pitch for Rambuddy, but I think I can't share the screen.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi.
So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Yep. I still can't share the screen.
You can?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Farzan has already shared it. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Sorry. Okay, so would you please go to the first slide, Farzan? Okay, so first of all, how many of you think people would exercise more if the trainers had better tools to motivate, engage, and retain them? Just look and you can wiggle if you think so. I can't see all the people though. So, like, hi, I'm Shiva. I'm the co-founder of Rambuddy. At the height of COVID, gyms closed, trainers scrambled, and clients struggled. The fitness world, once thriving in connections, was left fragmented. That's when a group of fitness and tech experts came together, having lived the struggles to build fitness business and adapting to change. We knew online trainers, needed more than just tools. They need a effortless solution. And so Rambuddy was born. A platform designed to dissolve challenges like honey in their morning protein shake. Rambuddy empowered trainers thrive in a digital-first world, blending innovation with the passion that drives fitness industry. What is the problem? When online trainers struggle with business development and lack of the budget for marketing experts, their income stagnate and their client base fails to grow. Because of this, they feel really overwhelmed, undervalued, and losing confidence, their ability to succeed. Currently, they rely on alternatives like social media influencers and manual outreach, but these tools are time-consuming, inconsistent, and fail to deliver lasting results. Rambuddy transformed trainers' business with a human-centric approach, focusing on increasing users' motivation and engagement while attracting more clients. At the start, we leveraged the Wizard of Oz strategy to refine our AI model and ensuring it's deeply aligned with real trainer needs and experiences. So we are kind of sure that we are like solving the right problem for the customers. We boost revenue by up to 10 times, increase clients retention by 40%, and enhance motivation by 45%. And acting as a personal marketing team, Rambuddy helps trainers attract new clients, engage existing ones with tailored plans, and retain them through smart automation and consistent. Our target market, the global fitness trainer market, is 42 billion now and growing 51 billion by 2028. Our serviceable available market is worth $34 billion, projected to reach $42 billion. And from this, our serviceable obtainable market is 159 million today and growing to 1.707 billion by 2028, and highlighting the focus and scalable opportunity for Rambuddy. The fitness tech space is crowded, but we're not just another fitness app. Rambuddy is a sport management platform laser focused on marketing and sales for online. And we stand out the affordable pricing. About our traction over the past 2 years, we've worked closely with trainers to understand the problem, and we're planning to have this projection reflect on our overall financial growth. And about our team, our greatest capital is our dedicated expert team. We brought together industry leaders with vast experience, not just subject matter experts, but tech and business advisors who's worked with the global giants like EA Games, Microsoft, University of Calgary, and 500 Startup Global. And our greatest ask is, while we are seeking for 18 months of financing to generate 3.5 million in sales, and our greatest ask is for introduction to networking channels where we can connect with trainers, and additionally, we love to connection to investors who align with our vision. And our documents are ready in detail.
Thank you so much. Okay, time for some feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love the storytelling. Also, I love the level of detail and creativity of one slide in particular, which is the upward graph. Can you put it again 1 second on the screen? Yeah, this one was a very smart way of drawing it. I can see what has happened so far. I can see what are your projections, and I can see there is kind of, how to say, a sequence, right? I can see that step in 2023 leads to step in 2024, that leads in H1 2025, and then it's going to lead to something else. I can see that, as I say, it's a gradual, calculated, for example, you're telling me 12 trainers are leading me to 1.5, 30 trainers are leading to 2.5, 50 trainers are leading me to 4K. I love this connection between customer, I suppose, a revenue model, a pricing, and then the MRR. So let's compare this slide. Can you go to the market size slide, please? I can see a huge difference between the two slides. So on the one slide, pretty simple, not overwhelming, but I can really see the connection between the customer, the pricing, and the revenue model. So I can see that these are numbers that you in the past slide, I'm saying, not in this slide. So in the past slide, I see numbers that you have reason about. These are numbers that you conquered. These numbers have a background, have a context. I say to my founders, how can they know if these numbers you dreamed them yesterday in a dream and you throw them on a slide, or if you have also the background to justify these numbers? So a person on the stage, how can they know that this 800 million has a reasoning behind it? So I'm sure if you have it, I would try to express it on a slide, which should be as simplistic as the reasoning that you have done in the other slide. That's
yeah, on the parts of financial calculation, Farzan's of course have more better information, but we know that we haven't updated this for the growth and for the traction growth, because we hit a new milestones. We are going to add another feature, and we are going to update that slide. So the visual that you've met in that slide that I couldn't take the time to explain it in wording hasn't been updated yet. But I do agree with these huge differences between our service obtainable market and what we are planning to obtain. And even we're going to update it, there is still differences between the sum and what we are going to traction, but also the slide traction that we show there hasn't been updated based on the new features that we have validated, and we are going to add, which is going to bring another revenue stream for growth. The number within the slide hasn't been updated, but still I agree that it's going to have a huge difference.
Yeah, I would love to give Brian the word. Just last thing, this slide is great, amazing, 10 out of 10. The other slide, should follow the model on this slide. This slide is great, 10 out of 10. Great slide.
To Brian and what he has to say.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Shiva. Thanks for presenting today. One quick question for you. So the customer is actually the trainer in this?
Customers, we do have a more detailed ICP, and we conduct a bifurcation. But they are like in general, in high level concepts, they are more online trainer, that they are basically work from home, and they're like acquiring the clients through their social media and online all over the world without limitation of geography or location.
Yeah. So I think you have to make that a little bit more clear up front, because I think most of the folks that are going to come in contact with you are going to assume, oh, this is a fitness app thing and it's direct to consumer, but it actually is for trainers to optimize their business. And so, and the reason why I'm confused on this point is your competition slide is mostly comparing yourself to companies that are going direct to consumer, rather than, helping the trainer to do things. And so I think it just needs to match, your overall message of who the customer is. And I think that also gets into the question we were just talking about on your market size. I would love to see how you came up with those numbers if your customer is actually the trainers. So that's one thing. The other thing that I would just briefly add is I'd love to see some kind of demo, or I'd love to see something that shows what does this thing do and how does it actually boost revenue, boost retention, boost motivation, because those are compelling numbers, but I kind of want to touch it. I kind of want to feel it. And I think you have a watch demo link there, and we're limited on time, but a few screenshots, just give me an idea of how this thing works.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, I totally agree. And we're trying to provide visually providing like a better compelling visual or a proof of concept for those that we are pitching. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you so much, Shiva. Great job. Okay, and it was our last pitch and last founder for today. I would like to give our experts a word. Please feel free to share last little piece of wisdom with our founders today. Who would like to start?
I can jump in. So hopefully, you not only got some constructive feedback on your own presentation, but hopefully you were able to get some tips and tricks from hearing the feedback from other presentations as well. And I would stress, there's a number of companies here that are doing something with AI. And so my earlier comment around, when AI is the solve, don't make AI alone be the solve. There has to be, how are you doing that? Why is it important? What is special about your AI model that's going to be different than anyone else is going to do it? Because, in general, investors are looking at everyone converging on every single problem in the world with AI. And so you're going to need to differentiate yourself much more than being able to just say, oh, the solution is AI. So that just an overall comment there.
Thank you so much. And who do you think was the founder who was best prepared?
My vote is for Daniel and Visa Now. I thought it was very concise, compelling, and very clear to me the problem that they're solving and how they're going to do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Davide, what do you have to say?
So I would say that was a great session. I feel each founder had at least 1 or 2 slides that were very cool. So I would hope that everyone is taking inspiration from everyone, because that's what I do with my cohort. I don't know, one founder did very well the problem solution fit, the other founder did very well the final slide, another founder did very well the traction with the upward trend. So take inspiration from each other, and I think the YouTube video that Victor is gonna post is gonna be very helpful for you to reference back the slides. And take the design of them, because some of them are very cool. I would say 3 main feedback that I think appeared, the timing, how much time you have. So try to squeeze whatever you want to say in the timing that is allocated to you, because then you're going to have a hard stop most cases in any context of life and of pitch sessions. Then second thing that Brian said towards the end, for the market size, for the problem, having very clear the ideal customer persona is key. Having clear the total amount of customers you want to address, but also your beachhead market, so where you're starting from. the little subset of customers which are willing to pay, which are low-hanging fruit, which have the urgent need. It's key to identify, so pay attention to that. And the third thing that also, also Brian said it, so kudos to Brian for all this like great advice, is why you, like what have prevented in the past others to have done it, and what is going to prevent more people to do it today. So what's your secret unique sauce that you bring to market, which will be your industry expertise? So share more about your background because it's relevant to your current startup. Share about the success you had in your past. Just a top line, just like the biggest thing you've achieved, because it helps to build credibility and be qualified to be the why you behind your mission and your solution. So that's mainly it. Thank you so much for everything, and looking forward for next pitch rehearsal.
Awesome, thank you. And who would you call the winner of today's session? Who do you think was the best?
I would say that, I'm a bit biased, but I'm happy that also Brian mentioned him. I think Daniel really stood out. I loved how he knew the market, even the breakdown of all the visas. I would have been a tough judge on the visa stuff because I know it very well, and he was really able to break down all the numbers. So it's clear that he knows the market very well and he has a vision of how to approach it. So good job in terms of both strategy, market research, and execution.
Awesome. Well, we have a clear winner today. So Daniel, really good job, and we'd be super happy to have you pitch at our next GGW Sharks. So please make sure to register, and this is awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. And Daniel, our CEO, is back. Daniel, is there something you'd like to say before we let everybody?
Yeah, I would like to say that first of all, great job, everyone. You guys did it very well today. And what I noticed for the past years we are doing pitch events, that those people who are pushing them the hardest get the best feedback possible from the experts we bring. And to bring the experts like Brian and David today, it's not an easy job. We are going through all across our network to bring you the best. So they share the best wisdom they have with you. And I'm really excited that we already have the winner today, but you did all great, and just keep pushing, and you will have your great feedback from the people you share it with.
Awesome. Thank you so much. One last thing I'd like to say is those founders who didn't get to pitch today, please contact me. I left my email address in the chat. Let me know. I'll make sure to add you to the list for the next session. And happy holidays. Christmas is super close. This is my favorite season. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. And we'll see you December 20th for our last event of 2024. Thank you so much for your time and attention today.
Exciting. Happy holidays, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Much more.
Bye. Thank you so much.